I wanted to do a video answering the most asked question on my channel, and well, I guess a couple of the most asked questions, which are, where can I get a reborn baby? Where do I buy my reborn babies? And what's the kind of price range of a reborn baby? Or at least a good quality one. So on my list, first of all, I will go into the price first because that's just going to be a very tiny section of this video. And I forgot to mention that I have little Rory here and Adelie. Adelie does not look happy about sharing her space. And Rory is so happy to see the camera. She's a little camera ham. So anyway, price range. Now, I very rarely see good quality reborns go for anywhere under $200. Sometimes you can get lucky and get a good quality reborn for around $150, sometimes even $130, but that's if you're really lucky, and that's on like the secondhand market, and probably the doll has been owned quite a few times, which could mean nothing, but I'm going to go more into that in a minute. So price range wise, I would say it all depends on what size of baby you want, who the artist is, how realistic the baby is, if the baby has rooted hair or painted hair, how well the hair is rooted or how well the hair is painted. It really just all depends. I can't give you guys an exact price, like if you want this sculpt or this kind of baby, then it will be this much. And certain sculpts cost a lot of money. For instance, these two little girls here, their sculpts are long, sold out, limited edition. They are so hard to find, so hard to find. And when you do find them, they do not run cheap at all. The cheapest sculpts are like Bountiful Baby sculpts. But like I said, some of the higher price sculpts, I mean, I can't even give you guys a number because it's just, they range everywhere. They can range from the hundreds to the thousands to even, I've heard of dolls going for like $20,000, okay? Obviously, that's not me. I don't buy those dolls, but I've just heard of stories. And I will give you guys a list of the places that you can go and find reborns for sale. And there are more out there, I'm sure, but these are just the ones that I'm aware of, that I'm familiar with. So the first one is eBay. The second one is Instagram. The third one is Dollfan and Etsy. So I'm going to start off with eBay because that's the one I have the most tips for you guys about. Be very careful on eBay, and here is why. The first reason is China sells a lot of dolls on there now. China is selling a lot of things on there on eBay now. eBay, less and less like, I guess, personal sellers, you know what I mean? Like, non-companies are on there, and usually people who make reborn babies, they're artists, they're not a company. Yes, they can, you know, they can turn it into an official business, but you know what I mean, they're not a big company that's manufacturing these dolls by factory or anything like that. So, when you look up a reborn baby on eBay, the first thing that's probably going to pop up is all these dolls that are from China, factory-made dolls. Those are not reborns, and a lot of times the picture, it will look really realistic, but when you get the doll, it does not look anything like the picture. If, like I said before, if the price is like under $200, it's probably not a good quality doll. These dolls that are from China, they'll sell them from anywhere from $10 to like $150. Sometimes they think that they can get away with selling it for $200 to $300, but most of the time they market at $100 or under. So be aware of those. Be very careful with that. And also, sometimes those will be sculpts that you recognize. Now, in China, and I don't know if they do it in other countries too, but I know China, they will steal sculpts from certain sculptors. Like they'll get a hold of a kit and they'll make the mold themselves for that kit. And so they will like recreate that kit, and then they will factory paint or whatever they do to that doll, and then they will put it on eBay or other places even. But these kits, if you get caught with one of these dolls, this is an illegally produced kit. They are copies, they are not the real thing. It is stolen property basically, so actually you should really make sure you don't buy one of these if you recognize the sculpt as, you know, it belongs to a sculptor. Some of the dolls, they do not belong to a sculptor. They are just, I don't know where they came from. Like they, you know, they created them themselves. Usually you can tell though when you'll recognize it. It will look like a sculpt that you've seen in the Reborn community. So just watch out for those. And those ones, like I said, usually you can tell when they're fake. When you get a kit or a doll, I always ask for the COA. The COA is the Certificate of Authenticity, and it basically is just a piece of paper stating that your kit or your doll was made from the actual real sculptor's kit manufacturer. Okay, that was a long thing about that, but just that is some important information. The next thing I would say is when you find a reborn baby that you like on eBay, make sure that you check that person's feedback. And even if it has 100% feedback, I would look at their like reviews or whatever and see if anyone else bought a reborn baby from them before. And because, you know, if they just sold little items like clothing or things like that, obviously, you know, that would be fine and they would get 100% feedback. But then, you know, selling a reborn baby is a whole different thing. If this is the first doll they've ever sold, you know, you just want to be aware of their feedback. Another thing is you want clear pictures. Anywhere you buy from, you want to see clear pictures of the doll. I'm talking the mouth, the fingers, the toes, the feet, everywhere, the hair. Those are a lot of things you want to see because especially if you're buying on the secondhand market, because hair can fall out. Children can mistreat dolls, or people can even mistreat dolls. Hair can be taken out. Most of the time, the first paint that rubs off is on the fingers, the toes, and the mouth. The paint can rub off anywhere, but you know, I'm just telling you guys what to look out for, what you want detailed pictures of. You want close-ups. As many close-ups of this doll as you can possibly get. And make sure that the photos are clear. Not like in the dark or, you know what I mean. And you want to see natural light photos because photographing a doll in like under light bulbs that cast a yellow glow or something like that, you have a really hard time telling if the doll's color is correct. Make sure that they are not hiding anything in the pictures. I have a story about that. So I've only ever bought 3 dolls off of eBay before, and the first 2 dolls I bought off eBay were great. And as a matter of fact, one of them I got for $200, and she was, oh my goodness, she was so beautiful. I mean, I got a steal on that baby. So see, there are good deals out there. But the last baby that I bought on eBay, the 3rd one, I looked at the pictures. She was beautiful. I thought she was gorgeous. But then when I got her eye, like the artist had put too much gloss in her eye, and it had made this just glob of gloss over her eye. It was gross looking. It looked, I don't even know how to, I believe that the box opening of that baby is possibly still up on my channel. I'm not sure though. But she was my first Madison by Andrea Arcello that I ever had. And then when I looked back at the pictures on eBay, because I wanted to see if you could see it in the pictures, then I realized that in every single picture, she had a shadow casting over that one eye, just a little bit, so you could not tell that that was a problem. Also, she did not glue the hair into that doll. It fell right out, and there were a lot of problems with that doll. And ever since then, I have not bought a doll on eBay. mainly because of that experience, and secondly because, like I said, there's a lot of sellers who are not honest on there, and there are a lot of sellers who are too, but like I said, a lot of them are like factory made dolls that they're trying to sell as reborns. And as we all know, reborns are handmade dolls. They're hand painted, you know. And let's see the next thing. Oh, the other thing you want to check on is if they take returns or not. So like, if you really like the doll, you think it's gorgeous, whatever, just be aware of their return policy. Think about if you're willing to take the risk of jumping into buying a doll that you will not be able to return. You know what I mean? So just weigh that risk. Is it worth it or is it not? Do you really like this doll that much or not, you know? Another thing is use a search specific things. Okay, so I believe it's on the left side of eBay's page. There's little check boxes where usually, I'll tell you guys the things I check off. I usually only buy dolls within the US. And there are a lot of dolls outside of the US that are good, but I just prefer not to have to pay all the extra shipping and, you know. So I always check in the US only. That also cuts out all of the dolls that are in China. But China has still shipped over a bunch of stuff that they have in the US. So like they have stock in the US that they will ship. And so those will still come up, but it will be a considerably less amount. And let's see, you can pick a price range. When I'm looking at dolls on eBay, I put in $200 to like whatever my price range ends at that I'm looking for. And the next thing is, some people on eBay, they will list, you know, beautiful pictures of dolls. And they'll say custom order doll, like custom order, let's just say for example, I'm just going to name a kit, custom order twin A. And what they'll do is they'll take the like prototype artist's work or like another artist's picture of that, that doll kit, and they'll use it in their listing saying, custom made doll of this kit, but they won't say that, that they took the picture from another artist. They don't show any pictures of their work, basically. Now, some artists, they show pictures of previous work in their custom listing. So just make sure that the person you're looking at, that's their work and not another artist's work that they're posting pictures of to try to get you to buy a custom from them of that kit. Instagram. Now, Instagram is where I usually buy my dolls. Most of my dolls are from the secondhand doll market, which usually they're considerably cheaper than from an artist themselves. Now, that's not always true because, like I said, once a kit is sold out, it's gone. Then a lot of people want that kit. They fight over that kit, and the doll price of that doll will go up. But most of the time, once it's been through the secondhand market, the value of the doll goes down. And it's not because the doll's damaged or messed up or anything, but it's just how it is. Just like anything used, you know, if something went through several people's hands, then, you know, the value would just go down. It's just how it is. Doll Fan is another one. So, Doll Fan, you can go on there, and I believe you can just search on there as a guest, and you can look at silicone babies for sale. Even you can look at reborn babies for sale, and things like that. But for Doll Fan, you can look at all the listings and posts, but to be able to reply to those people, you have to have a subscription for them. I don't remember how much it is. I think it's like $20 a year. I have a subscription to Doll Fan, and like I said, I'm pretty sure it's $20 a year, which is not bad at all. It's really worth it. And the next one I have is Etsy. I have never used Etsy before, So I know nothing about Etsy, actually. I've never bought anything on Etsy, but I've just heard of people saying I listed this doll in my Etsy shop. And a lot of big artists do that, I know, because like I said, I've seen them post like on Instagram, hey, this doll's in my Etsy shop. So I know Etsy is a place you can go. And the other place is Facebook. Now, like, I know nothing about Facebook either. I've never been on Facebook, but for Adelie here, her owner listed her on Facebook, and my friend knew I was looking for this sculpt, and so she came and told me, and she got the person's email for me, and that's how I got Adelie. So she was listed on Facebook. Facebook and Etsy I know nothing about, but I just know that those are places that you can look, and some people do look there. Checking even feedback for Instagram and all those other places. Ask for any sale references, you know, happy customer reviews or whatever. You know, that applies to any place that you go to try to find a Reborn. And the stolen photos, the stolen kits, the customs with stolen pictures, or, you know, let's see, yeah, clear pictures, all that stuff, that applies to any place that you want to look to get a Reborn. I think that that's all of my tips for you guys. I know that this was probably a really long video, but it was packed full of helpful information. I hope. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys have any other questions that I can answer, and I will try to answer them to the best of my ability. Thanks for watching, everyone.